America is collapsing before our very eyes. Restaurants are closing their doors for good in my city at a record pace. They're blaming it on a slow season, but I think it's something else. You can't tell me the amount of abandoned strip malls that I drive by on a daily basis is normal. I know you've seen it too. All these places just get replaced with the capybara cafe de jour or a flower store to placate the masses, if you know what I mean. There used to be 24-hour diners, family-owned restaurants, even bookstores, I don't know, third spaces. Now, nothing. Luxury apartments that sit vacant forever. Grocery stores that have been closed for 10 years. So much wasted space in empty parking lots until some TikTok trend comes, opens for 6 months, and then that closes too. I know I'm not alone in this, but yet every single time I bring it up, I get all the bots in my comments telling me the economy's never been better. But I ask for who? Like 100 people at the top? So the billionaires are doing great. I don't care. People like you and me, we're struggling out here. All my friends live in vans. And if we are lucky enough to have apartments or houses, we're living behind locked doors and closed blinds because there's no community here anymore. Restaurants are just the beginning. They're the canary in the coal mine. Once they're gone, so are all of our meeting places, our birthday parties, our community, and third spaces. They're not just a place to buy food. They're a pulse of the neighborhood. And also, as a live singer, something hugely important to my job. I used to sing 5 nights a week. Now I'm lucky if I can find a Sunday night gig. So I'm just here to say, if this is what a booming economy sounds like, it must be the sound of doors slamming shut. And I don't know about you, but I'm making my exit plan. We're moving to Portugal soon, where they still have cafes and restaurants that people actually go to. If you find that interesting, stick around. Because I can tell you this is not normal. And don't let internet comments gaslight you into thinking it is.
Empires rise and empires fall. If you are a student of the history, you would know that before now, there are a lot of empires that have risen up and that have also fallen. We have Roman Empire, we have USSR, which is Russia Empire. You have German Empire, you have the British Empire. You have all sort of empire that has risen up in the time past and they've fallen. And of course, right now, America is the empire that has risen up and has been in power. But it looks like there's what we call diminishing return, whereby everything rises and begin to have a downward spin for America. Well, it's not America's fault because, like I said at the beginning, no empire reigns forever. No empire. That is not how it was fashioned. You're meant to reign for a couple, let me say a century, 100 plus years. 100 years, 120 years, 150 years. That's the highest every country do. They reign for that number of years. And after that time, there's what we call downward spine. And right now, America is at that level. America, they are in their 150 year, maybe at next year they should be like 150 years they've been reigning, and it's like it's not their fault. Everything that is happening right now is happening because this is what happens to countries when they are about to leave the terrain of being in control of the world, when they're about to become the past world power. You see that the system of government begin to act strange and things begin to happen, and you're like, what's happening? Is this America? They're begin to go against the people immigration law. You see, they can't begin to dwindle and all of that. Things begin to happen fast, and people are like, what is happening? Hey guys, it's not America's fault. It's the fact that there's about to be a new regime that's going to be in power, and that is what happens when the country is about to lose it. Let's go check out a couple of videos that I've put together for you. And we can begin a conversation around what we've watched, what Americans are saying, what people are saying that, hey, America is losing this, America is this. Well, that's not my word. That's the video we're going to watch now. The views and perception of Americans. Credit belongs to original creator of the great content you're watching on this platform. I'll be right back. And if you love this great content, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
Donald Trump is running out of money. Personally, the American government is running out of money. Big time. They've now been downgraded twice in regards to their economic status. Trump is getting desperate. So the 10% he's put, 10% extra tariffs he's put on Canada, they are just trying to get more money. You got to remember, this is a guy that bankrupts stuff. So the tariff threats isn't just going to be on Canada, it's going to be on everybody soon. He is desperate for money. He is spending way more than he has. And America is absolutely fucked. As long as this man is president, all you have is disaster, dismay, and disappointment.
We're at the end of the American empire. The question is it China next? We're at the end of an empire right now. It is the end. It's the end of this. And all empires always come to an end. The Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, Chinese were the earliest. So what we're looking at today is the end of the American empire. So it's a very dangerous time. It's explosive, with Palestine and Gaza. All the stuff that's going on is an end of times. Not biblical, but just an end of an era. And the trouble when this comes to an end, war follows. That's what I'm afraid of.
The United States has lost every single war game against China. They're currently $37 trillion in debt. And even the United States' own defense secretary admits that the US doesn't have the capability of going into all-out war. Here's what's actually happening. Pete Hegseth admitted in every single war game that the US Pentagon runs against China, they've lost. Every single one. With China building replications of US surface vessels in the desert and their development of hypersonic missiles to strategically defeat the United States' most important assets, with the goal of being able to do this in the first 20 minutes of a conflict. Meanwhile, the United States is still using military armaments that were designed for the last wars of the generations, while also trying to maintain 750 military bases across the planet that we know of. And while this is happening, the dollar was the dominant power for the United States. It's what gave America its superpower. You can print money, you can impose sanctions, and you control the world's global finance. But now we're paying nearly $1 trillion per year on just the interest payments alone, while all of the BRICS nations are collectively building alternative payment systems. So when you owe $37 trillion and other countries start the process of not using your currency, the empire's engine, the thing that keeps it going, begins to stall and inevitably begins to fail. The real problem is that America itself doesn't even believe that it's a superpower anymore. You have political polarization right here domestically. You have social unrest. And American people with polls show an overwhelming distrust for the American government and all institutions. Even American allies have started to see America as unpredictable and extremely isolated, especially with the Trump policies of America first. You can't run a global dominating empire when your own domestic nation is beginning to fragment. And that's why America, and especially Donald Trump, as we saw in his campaign, is desperate to try and end the war in Ukraine. Because the true person that's causing all of this unrest for America in their perspective is China. It's taking up more and more of the economic share of the planet. It has the military and industrial base that is outpacing the United States in production. China, of course, is rivaling the United States in all of the economic and technological edges that the US had before. China is still behind in semiconductor technology, but when we compare where China was 10 years ago to where China is today, the gap between the US and China is narrowing. So the United States' plan for strategic sequencing, because they realize that they can't fight Iran, Russia, and China all at the same time, only really works when you are strong enough to fight against your enemies. But you're not strong enough. You're not strong enough when your own nation is fragmented, when there is chaos at home, when the people in your levels of bureaucracy are on different sides and want different things. The unipolar dominance that the Americans had on the planet was always going to be temporary. It was not something that would last forever. What does? It only lasted 80 years because the world believed in the American power. It believed in American culture. It believed in America's military might. But now that belief is gone, as more and more nations wake up to the reality of what the US will do with its finances and the financial hold it has on the planet, as it wakes up to the reality of the United States' military prowess and their failures against the bombardments of Iran, or the military equipment that the US uses in Russia, yet they're still not winning the conflict decisively. That belief in America is gone, and that is beginning the process of multipolarity, which is not coming in the future, it's arguably already here.
So China is winning the trade war by doing nothing. I'll explain it to you. So basically, Nobody wants to buy Chinese goods because there's 145% tariffs. So the ships are coming in with maybe a limited stock, but there's no containers on there. Americans need containers to fill up their goods to go back to Asia, but there's no containers. There's nothing there to fill their stock up. So there's nothing they can do. America is losing this trade war massively. And it's because the containers are empty. And because there's no point even sending the containers over. Welcome to the dark time of the United States of America. Trump has destroyed the United States of America. It's over.
From the little research I've done, empires that reigned in the past, they reigned between 120 years and 150 years. As a matter of fact, a few of them get to that peak of 150 years before they lose power and give it to another country. But America is one of the few countries that is in the 150, 151 years old of reigning. And truth be told, America has been able to coordinate the entire universe. They've been able to show the world democracy. They've been able to tell the world what it means and how it means to governize, to control. As a matter of fact, you can see no country in the world was able to achieve the success of using their currency as the only medium of exchange. But America was able to do that. America was a great country. Oh, should I still say America is a great country? Well, I leave you guys to decide if America is still a great country. But from what we have watched, a lot of people are saying that the policies, the administration that is in power right now is not helping things, because a lot of countries are not having bilateral trade with America. They're not doing business with America. They're not seeing America as that figure whereby they respect, they revere, they seek aid and help from, they seek counsel from. Every country is trying to look out for alternatives, for where policies and countries would benefit them. For example, you can see America and China. Then trade war started by America. America is trying to dominate, but America say, hey, I don't really care what you are doing. And tariffs were increased, from 145 at some point, 150, and all sort of. But right now, China has moved away from America. China has been able to raise partners from every part of the world because they feel, well, we can't depend on America for now because the policies of America is not favoring us. And it looks like, hey, America will be losing it. So they are building alliance and with countries, bilateral agreement, and those are the signs that let you know that America may no longer be in charge, because when they don't see America as a country that is in charge, they begin to build alliance with other countries, which they may never try before, because America have this sledge armor that they can impose on everybody and anybody that goes against them. Look at what has happened to the currency of America. A lot of things are changing, and these are the signs that makes even Americans to say, is America losing it? Then the question is, if America should hand over the power, who is going to be the world power? Well, I will leave you to address this. I will leave you to tell me at the comment section, who do you think is fit enough to wear the shoe that America is wearing right now? And a lot of Americans are sympathizing, they are soliciting, Americans are leaving the country, they are, a lot of things are happening. But guys, let me know what your view and your perception is at the comment section concerning this interesting topic. Who is going to be the next world power? Or do you think America is still in charge? Or do you think the time of America is up? Let the conversation begin at the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. And of course, if today is the first time of coming across my channel, do me a favor by subscribing, liking, and sharing this information, and turn on your notification button so that you'll be the first to get updates whenever I post. Thank you for watching. And like I always say, stay in peace, stay in love, and avoid trouble. Bye for now.